The Mangosuthu University of Technology, in collaboration with the National Intellectual Property Management Office and the Companies and Intellectual Property Commission, recently launched a national intellectual property awareness campaign aimed at promoting IP education on its value as a driver of economic and social growth. Dr. Mandla Hlongwane of MUT and Amanda Lotheringen of the CIPC join us for more. A very good evening to you both. Thank you so much for your time. Perhaps let's start with you, Dr. Hlongwane. We know the exploitation of musicians is very rife in South Africa, mainly because the artists lack the required knowledge to protect their creations, their inventions. What did you seek to achieve with your campaign?
Thank you so much for having me today. I can say it's absolute pleasure for me to be here and talk about the upcoming campaign in terms of intellectual property. So if, as I said, if you look into intellectual property basically protect the creative works like songs, your lyrics, your beats, and performance. So musicians, basically, this means that their artists, their creative work has a legal value, and they can basically protect or get revenues through the protection of their creativity or their creative work. So with the campaign, we aim to basically raise awareness in terms of intellectual property, most particularly copyright, because of our theme for this year. We're looking into intellectual property and music.
Now, Amanda, Dr. Hlongwane speaks about raising awareness. He mentions the word copyright. We know that it is important for us to have these conversations. As the CIPC, one registers a business and gets all excited, focuses on the creative aspect, but it's important for us to speak about the protection and respect of intellectual property, isn't it? Can I ask for you to unmute yourself, Amanda? Okay, we appear to have some difficulty there in hearing Amanda as we do continue the conversation. Perhaps let's take it back to Dr. Hlongwane. Dr. Hlongwane, as we try and establish that connection with Amanda, we know that while it's important for artists to be creative, there should be an approach in terms of taking their artistic innovations to the next level. And you speak about creative work having a legal value. What have we seen as examples in the past when it comes to the importance of intellectual property?
Thank you again for your question. What I could say is that we have seen a number of cases, most especially in this digital age, whereby the work of the artist is being taken and aired without a permission or prior written permission and compensation for the artist. So these are crucial issues that we want to address. We want that the artists should be able to know their rights, and as soon as they engage with individuals, whether it be a collaboration among artists or a license agreement, they should basically put in an agreement that stipulates who owns what in their set of collaboration. So this is something that we aim to address with this campaign.
And how has the campaign been received so far as you engage and interact with artists across the country?
So with reference to the media launch we had at Mangosuthu University of Technology on the 16th of April, we had a good turnaround of people. We had local artists, most particularly from the student representatives, looking into the local universities within KwaZulu-Natal, because our aim is to work with the upcoming artists, the young student or the young musicians, and ensure that we protect them from from utilization of their work without compensation. So we had received a positive response. We had a number of people attending. I think we had over 100 of individuals attending our media launch, and we are indeed looking forward to the road show that is taking place on the 24th of April.
Absolutely. Let's take the question back to Amanda. I do understand we've re-established that connection. Amanda, I'm hoping you can hear us as we perhaps try to get a sense of how the misuse of intellectual property can negatively impact a brand and the wider economy as we seek to understand the importance of protection and the respect of intellectual property.
I hear you very clearly. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. Your first question, just briefly, how important it actually is for a business to take the next step after they registered a company to protect their intellectual property. It actually gives you that exclusive monopoly right so that you can benefit from the services or the goods that you are producing. So I think it's very important, and not many businesses take that next steps to register their intellectual property rights. And especially when we talk about copyright, the creative industry sector, because they're so creative, they only think about bringing forth new creative works. And that's always the business of music. So to register a company, to put a trademark with their copyright material so that people can distinguish it. We are celebrating World Intellectual Property Day with the rest of the world in April, and the awareness campaign that Mandla has just mentioned is heightened during the month of April. We work very extensively to create awareness about intellectual property, the value it brings, and the necessity to respect intellectual property. Abuse of copyright is rife, especially with the online availability of content. So people tend to think it's a victimless crime, and they pirate and copy songs, film, music, all of these things without really thinking about the impact of what they are doing.
What about the recent international conflict? How did that highlight the issue of counterfeit luxury goods as we look to the creatives here in South Africa?
Yeah, I think counterfeiting has been in the news quite often recently. And if you're referring to the Ukraine-Russian conflict, we have seen an increase in luxury fashion goods because original goods, as a result of sanctions, are not available in the marketplaces. So all they have is the fake goods coming into their country and available for sale, which is a huge drive for the demand of these goods and really impacts on the rest of the world as well.
What does it take to get this business to the next level? I mean, you speak about how some companies, create this exciting product or brand or piece of artwork and fail to take it to the next level. Is there red tape around it? Is it difficult to protect your idea when you think of the processes that are involved?
I think people think it's much more difficult and expensive than it really is. The CIPC, which is the companies or the IP Office of South Africa, in short, we have taken numerous steps to make it as easy as possible for a small businesses or an entrepreneur to register their IP rights. Cost-wise, you can register a trademark for 580 Rand, and you've got 10 years of protection, and you have to renew it then every 10 years. Copyright's not registered. The only copyright that we register in South Africa is the copyright in films. But all other forms of copyright, if you keep the evidence as the creator of that work, that right naturally vests in you.
Perhaps let's take this last one to Dr. Hlongwane. Dr. Hlongwane, in what ways do you think that the sale of counterfeit goods affect the original creators, the artists, and their supply chains?
Thank you so much for your question. I think one will accept that most artists, basically, they are making a livelihood, and they are supporting hundreds of thousands of individuals through their creativity. So this only doesn't harm the artists or musicians, but it also impacts our economy negatively. So I think it's very important to raise awareness in terms of infringing on others people's intellectual property.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. I thank you both, Dr. Mandla Hlongwane of the MUT, Mangosuthu University of Technology, and Amanda Lotheringen of the CIPC. Thank you for your time.